Yandere Simulator is supported by the following sponsors. Yandere Simulator is supported by the following sponsors.
Honestly, I said I wasn't gonna put my mic on or anything for the stream, but I feel like I might as well just get what I say off my chest and never have to say it again, I suppose, maybe. Well, there's this person. I think every day. I think about it.
I'm not your personal alarm clock, you know. You can't rely on me to wake you up every...
I think about how there's so many cruel people, men in particular, when it came to relationships, and just how I realized that to think that someone who couldn't love me was the most honest person ever, it ruins me. So, to give some backstory, I had a first boyfriend. He was stupid. He was like 16, and I'd recently gone through stuff with school, and I said, sure, I guess I'm ready, and I just got with this guy, and it was all rushed. This person lied to my face. They did horrible things, manipulated me, tried to get back with their ex, and tried to say that their ex treated them better than me, even though their ex had cheated on them and stuff like that. So it really hurt me. And honestly, it was heartbreaking when they finally did break up with me. And I didn't know how to live with myself with that. and I went through a very dark path. Very dark path. And it was, I'd say, maybe October, November of 2024 that I decided I'd just go on virtual reality because I want to get away from it all. Because life is too challenging, and honestly, I wish I never did. I wish I faced reality. But it was so tough, and it was the only option I felt like I had left, and it felt good. I was playing social deduction games and met people who were quite intelligent, that weren't just weird people on VR chat. And then I used to always say, online dating, like long distance, how would that even work, you know? Especially if you don't know the person's face. And stuff was getting really bad. January 2025 was so bad. Honestly, personal stuff was going on, and all reminders, and I even said to myself I wouldn't be online for Valentine's Day because of how difficult it was to just see people, you know, love, and I didn't know if I'd ever feel that again. I really didn't. And then this person, just someone that I knew that played one of these social deduction games with me, had joined a murder mystery game. And this person, I just knew, and it was like as if I was so happy to see them, but like we'd never really spoken, but I felt like we'd known each other for a good while because I just felt it in me that we'd spoken a lot in the game, and it was true. They remembered me, and we hit it off. We started watching anime. They were someone completely different that I'd never met before. Someone who, just the way that they spoke was so articulate. And about maybe a month or two, I realized I kind of like this person. So obviously, me being who I was, I kind of let it be known. And they told me that they don't think it's good because they're selfish, they said. They wouldn't seem like they'd be the right type of person to be put into a relationship with. And there was all sorts of things going on at the time, like this person, they really liked affection in the game. So I used to be weirded out by, like, you know, like, why do people like head pat each other in the games and stuff like that. I used to be all like, why do people do that? You know, they can't like actually feel it and stuff. But with this person, I don't know how it was, I just felt so caring towards them. And I'd comfort them, head pat them and stuff like that. They would do the same. And after I told them how I felt, they said maybe we shouldn't do that anymore and stuff. And I said, no, it's okay. I have my friends and everything would be grand. I'll get over it and stuff. Then I realized another month later, I really couldn't, and I start gushing about them to one of my friends, and that friend then told them, and they told me, and they ended up telling me that they liked me, and I was over the moon. But they told me that it was like a double-edged sword for them, because, well, they felt like at the moment that I was, I suppose, trying to make them fall in love with me, but it wasn't on purpose. It was stuff that went on with their past, and they just didn't want that to happen again. They wanted to know why I liked them so much, why I was spending time with them. And really, they were an intelligent person, and they viewed the world much different than any other person I'd ever met. And I felt like we'd shared a lot in common when it came with that, because I felt like I'd never met someone that functioned the way that they did. So eventually we start getting to know each other more, and I think my birthday comes up and stuff like that. We're really getting to know each other, and then their birthday comes along, and something about them was just off that day, and they told me they gotten drinks, and I said, why are you getting drinks? Like, they don't drink, they're not a drinking person. And I told them, throw it away, you don't need that stuff. And I thought they did, but then a few hours later they call me and they're crying on the phone, and I comfort them in every way, and I get drunk myself because I don't know how to react to it all, and I feel like I can't communicate to them, and it's just an emotional night. I end up telling them that I love them, and I feel like they said something, but it wasn't that they loved me, but that they liked me. I think I might have asked if they liked me too or loved me too, but less to the point of that. But the fact that they said when they were sober that they felt like the only way that they could actually communicate to me was by drinking was sad to hear. It made me upset. And I told them, don't you ever feel that way.
Is
I
everything okay?
appreciate you for who you are, and you do not need poison to communicate to me. So ever since that day, they never drank again. And things were fine. 1 or 2 months later, they told me that they loved me, and I told them I loved them too.
Take your mind off of it? You still haven't joined it.
I thought everything was fine. About maybe a month later, I said, do you think this is like a dating thing? And they said they don't know, but I suppose if neither of us are seeing anyone, then it must be. So we got together like we were dating, but they didn't want to label it like girlfriend, boyfriend. So I didn't really label it at all. I respected their wishes. And lots of people knew that he liked me and I liked him. It was very well known. And then I just remember he asked me one night, he said, am I weird? And I said to him,
This club.
thinking he
Everyone
was joking,
in this club seems really nice.
I said,
And I
yeah, but that's what I like so much about you. And that made him cry. And I feel like ever since that day, something changed about him. I wish I never said that. I want
I don't wanna
everyone
sound
to know, if
rude,
anyone's
but
listening,
They're just...
it's okay to be weird. It's not like it's a bad thing. You're unique, you're your own person. I feel guilty saying that to him. Ever since that day, he decided he'd start doing his own projects. He was a very good coder, and he started developing games for VR chat. I was very supportive with it. I used to show him worlds to help maybe get some inspiration. I was over the moon that he was doing something that he liked. And I suppose there were times where maybe I'd ask if we could hang out, but he'd have allocated times for when he would not be studying and he would hang out with people. So eventually I was kind of used to that, you know, and that was fine. Like, it wasn't a big deal for me because I know why he had to do it. He had his own issues to deal with, to get income that he needed and stuff, and I was fine. Like, that was fine with me. I understood that, and we'd played lots of different games together throughout the year, nearly a year. It wasn't really a whole year, and lots of just like really fun games like Terraria, FNF, and just like we found songs, and I told him there were some songs that reminded him of us and stuff like that, which was really hard for me to even say, because now when I listen to everything it's just so painful. And he used to share songs with me that he said reminds me of him and all that stuff, and it just, like, at the time it was so sweet to hear, you know. So at December my I really wanted to hang out with him for Christmas, but I had a feeling he might have been with family, so I asked him first, and I said, if you're not with family, I'd like for us to hang out and stuff, you know. And just to give an update as well, I'd never seen his face. We'd never actually seen each other in real life, but we were going to on his birthday this year, and I had loads of things planned, but either way, I said I'd love to spend time with you, so he said, yeah, sure, we can do the 23rd, 24th and 25th. And then he messages me a few days before to tell me that he can't. One of his family members are ill and he'd feel guilty if he didn't go. So I felt upset. I did, but I also felt upset of myself for feeling that way. So I spoke to a friend of mine, the friend who also told them about my feelings. I told him about it and I cried and I said, should I be crying over this? Like, I feel guilty that I'm crying over this. It's just like, it's the letdown. And I don't really remember what that friend said, really. It was just a very fuzzy night. And then a lot of things then happened, like a few things I missed out on, which is the fact that this person never wanted to get married. They never wanted to be with someone, like live with them, and they never wanted to have kids. And I knew this at the very start. And a bit of me thought, you know, maybe one day. And even if not one day, there's always compromises. If I really, really love this person, I can give up that dream, you know? Because people who haven't been in love, I don't think they really understand how much people are willing to give up for someone. So I didn't tell him too much about how much I like kids and how much I wanted to get married and stuff. Like, would I have wanted to get married to him? Yeah. It would be nice, you know? Be cool. But I knew that wasn't possible. And at Christmas, I'd say maybe Christmas Eve, I just broke down in tears in front of him, and I told him, virtually obviously, but I said, like, I thought when we were going to visit, you know, we were going to be at your place and stuff like that, and hang out there, and he'd say there wouldn't be maybe enough food, or, you know, not enough room, like anywhere for me to sleep. And it was just the way, the excuses, I suppose, that maybe upset me. I don't really remember the gist of why I was breaking down, but I remember he said, oh no, I don't like this. And I never heard him sound that way before. It was if he was remembering something from his past, and it would be something that I would feel like saying if, you know, there was something that was said. And that impacted me. And I used to tell him my grandparents, you know, they don't live in the same house and they're still together, you know. Like, there's a lot of things that we can do, and there's a lot of compromises, you know, and stuff like that. Like, we'd even planned to go see the eclipse in, I think it was Egypt. But the one thing that I could say about all of this is that no matter how much it happened, he was always honest with me. And he'd always try to be there when he could, and he'd tell me when he wasn't, you know. And then New Year's came. And New Year's I was hanging with him, and I made this little story up that, you know, we'd finally have our first dance together, and, you know, we'd kiss under the mistletoe, stuff like that. And I said, what do you think about that and stuff like that? And he said, maybe later, like not now, like later. And I didn't think much of that, you know. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe maybe it's too soon for him to hear stuff like that, even though we've been, you know, we confessed in April, so like we got together maybe like April, and it's December. So I said, like, yeah, sure, that's okay. And we hung out, and then after New Year's, I just he messaged me telling me that he's got to get back to his project work. He has this big game that he's developing, which I've been testing. I've tested it, and I'm testing, well, I was one of his testers, and even said I was going to be a voice actor for it, but I had a feeling that wasn't going to happen, honestly. That's why I never really spoke about it too much. And he told me some other person was trying to do the same project that he was doing, so I was like, oh gosh, he's got to really focus on this now because his deadline is in February. And I said, yeah, of course. I was just wondering though, one of my friends who was like, you know, egging me on in the background because they really like seeing me and him together, was saying that I should ask him where he's going to be, like, is he going to be available for Valentine's Day? So I only mentioned it once to him because I knew it was February and, you know, he had his deadline, so I knew it probably wasn't possible. So I mentioned it and he said, we'll see, like, and stuff like that. He never really made any plans. And there was this megacon that was going on in Ireland where there was people from Digital Circus who were coming to do autographs, and I said that would be a lovely birthday present for him. When I see him, I can get his favourite characters, voice actors autograph. And he told me to maybe make those plans near the time of the date when it comes. He kept saying those things, and I said, what about when we see each other? And he said, a hotel, maybe book the hotel maybe a week before and stuff like that. So he was kind of giving the impression of, you know, like, don't do it right now, you know. So I didn't. I had a Christmas present I bought him. It was like a Sonic cup. I showed him a picture of it and I asked him if he wanted it for Christmas, and he said yes, so I got it. Didn't tell him I got it, so don't know what to do with that now. But then 7 weeks into the new year, and I come home from my shopping. I cook myself some nice food, and I like cooking. I liked cooking, and I like showing pictures of like food that I was gonna make for him because he's a very good cook. And I said I'd also try and make some stuff too, and we can share food. And I got a message from him, and I just felt like, okay, maybe today we can hang out, you know? I just thought about it, you know, and it was like, it was okay if he didn't. Like, it wasn't a big deal to me. And he, we had a fun time that day, and there was like a joke I made, like saying, I had this like Sonic avatar on. It was a Sonic Rewrite avatar, and I had this like animation where it's the part where he gets boyfriend's heart, and I made a joke and I said, give me your heart. And then he said, later when I don't need it, and stuff like that. And he also said, when I asked him, because he used to say bestie a lot, and I said, am I your bestie? And he said that he doesn't have labels for that, but if he did, I would be. And then in that same day, he kept asking me, do you have any more worlds that you want to show me? Because originally I was just showing him more inspirations for his project, UI stuff, you know, because I really supported what he did. And I was being the supportive, if you could say, girlfriend or person that he was dating. I was happy for what he was doing. And I even told him that day, if you ever need me to test anything, just let me know, I will. I'm always happy to do that. And he just kept asking, is there any other places you want to show me? And eventually I said, no, I think I just want to, you know, rest with you tonight, you know. I don't know why I said that. I just felt like, you know, maybe he might want to, because he was asking me if I was tired and stuff like that. So then he brought me into this world, and it was an empty world, and something felt really, really off. It was in VRChat, and I thought to myself, I looked down at the world. It was like an empty place, and it had a TV there, but the song that was playing, it was like a really empty song. And when I looked down, because there was only a small platform, when I looked down, it was just so empty. And the first thing that came to my mind, and I'd never thought of before, was, is this him trying to show me how empty his soul is? Because he never really said, he'd only ever said he loved me once. And now, I didn't really mind that, you know, people find it hard to say it, and I find it hard to say it. I always did. So I knew how hard it was, like. So when he went into this avatar that, like, I knew from ages ago, where he used to fly me with it, and I made a joke about it, and I was like, oh, that's the avatar from that church where we went to, I got stuck there, do you remember that? And he's like, yeah, but he didn't sound his best. And then he started doing his calculating like he always did. He started going back and forth, and he was trying to find the right words to say, and a pit in my stomach. I couldn't describe it. I just knew he was going to say something bad, and I wanted to say, please don't tell me it's something bad, is it? But I couldn't get the words out. And he says, there's some, and then the first thing I thought was, is he gonna say there's someone else? And then he says his arm and hand is shaking because of me. And I said, is there any way that I can help that? And then he says, is there any way that you can help that, did you say? And I said, yeah. And he said something like that, that's like a cow asking the butcher if he's okay after butchering the cow. And I said, is that how you feel right now? Why? And he says, we should part our separate ways, that he's aromantic. And he told me that when he told me he loved me, he didn't feel like it was right when he said it. And it took him all this time to realize it. It took him another 6 months to realize it. And I couldn't feel anything. But there was one thing I always asked him. I said, if you ever do not like me anymore, please tell me. Okay, don't lie to me. And he did what I asked. He was aromantic for a good while, and he'd also told someone I knew that he was aromantic. Now, I asked him about this, and he said no. And I know he said no because I know stuff like that would have kept running in my mind over and over again. But someone that we both knew told me that he was aromantic months ago. And he said he wasn't. He says, I don't know where they're hearing that from. So I said, I don't know. So I believed him. You know? And he just says now that when I asked him after everything, he said that maybe it was just a thing that he was trying to block out in the past because someone else fucked him up. Someone tried to force him to have him love them, and that was only a challenge for them, and he was very broken up over it, and that forced him not to love anyone else again, and unfortunately I was one of the victims to it. Honestly, I thought he had emotion when it came to the connection that we had. There was nothing that I really think I did wrong, and he always said to me that there was nothing that I did wrong, that he says I'd done more than anyone should have. Anyone would look into the relationship we had and said I'd done way too much for him. And honestly, he's most likely right. I didn't take my feelings into account and only took his in. But the thing is that always breaks me is the fact that he couldn't even love me, but he was the sweetest, honest, nicest person that I had ever met in my entire life. And that's what hurts me the most. I know that anyone else who goes up to him, he's told me now that I've made him see the light. I made him see that he just can't be romantic with anyone. And I was his final person to test that theory on. It just hurts because yeah, they were a pretty real person to me. Pretty intelligent too. That just sucks so much though. To that first guy that seemingly loved me, he then tried to cheat and stuff like that. But this person, they were honest, and that's what hurts the most. That's what hurts the most. I felt like I was my best self with them too. I genuinely felt happy with them. And now I can't even go on any social media or anything like that. I can't even look at Miku or shit like that. Everything just reminds me of that person. And I literally just can't get it out of my head. I heard, if anyone knows that song, where that Coldplay song that's like 17 years old now. And there's a part in the lyrics and it says, "For some reason I can't explain, when you'd gone, there was never an honest word." That's how I feel. because they were so honest. And they told me I was intelligent. I'd never heard anyone tell me that before about myself. I thought I was just a weird person. So, I don't know. One of the things that I liked about them was because I knew from the start they're pretty good with disappearing. And the thing is, for myself, I know for myself in the past, my past boyfriend, I asked them to just disappear because I'm only going to try and find your social media and stuff. I was a pretty overthinker back then. So I suppose he did disappear in a way, but he's got that game now, probably up now, and like God knows how long until I stumble upon that. And it's just gonna break my heart if I see him again. I don't know how his past relationships or anything were, but genuinely, I would have done anything for him. I genuinely was so happy. I was looking forward to seeing him. And everyone was saying, how can you fall in love with a machine or someone that you'd never even met? Someone you'd never even seen the face of? Then I said, there's so much more than that. There's so much more to a person than just a face. And that's what I felt was so special about us. The connection that we had. And that's the thing. But then I always have to remember it was never gonna work out. Eventually I would have wanted kids anyways. It's just gonna suck. 'Cause I honestly don't know if I can trust anyone again. I don't think I'd ever meet anyone as honest as that person. And I think it makes it easier knowing that he can't have a relationship with someone again. It makes it easier. It really does. But it's the memories. And they just keep killing me. Those stupid songs and memories, and they just won't go away. The fact that I went to virtual reality to get away from all the pain in the world, and they took it away. He took it away. He did. And showed me the wonders of the virtual space. And I wanted to get lost in it with him. I really did. I wanted to go to the moon with him. And I don't think he realizes how much I meant that. There was a song I told him to remember me by, and this was before he even told me that he quote unquote loved me. It was, I want to stay at your house by Cyberpunk, you know? And I never actually listened to the lyrics, I just liked the tune of it, you know? And I listened to the lyrics after. And it fucking broke me. I really did want to stay in his house, that was true. I guess that was a subconscious thing in the back of my mind. And the tough thing is, people don't really realize it, but I have to disappear. Like, I had to disappear. Especially with my last breakup. And it's easy, but then it's sickening at the same time. To restart. People don't know what you've gone through. Like, there's actually nothing. After Yandere Simulator, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do after this, honestly. I should have deleted my Discord account. Should have deleted everything. I can't stand it anymore. I honestly can't face anyone. And I know I make it sound like because it was my fault, like I've done something wrong. It's not. It's because of how heartbroken I am. I can't. I don't like seeing people move on. He's probably developing this game right now. Or hanging out with his friends. I'm just here. I lost all my friends. That seems to be a thing that I have whenever I like someone. I end up losing friends while focusing on liking someone. Or they just don't talk to me. And it's not on purpose. I suppose maybe I lose interest in people that isn't that person, and I don't know why it happens. But I know if I were to have ever speak to someone who had any relation to that person or knew that person, I'd cut them off. That's what I did before, and I do it again. Because I can't deal with it. And I know some people on my Discord have my YouTube, so they might or might not see this. They may or may not send it to them. They may or may not. Like, I have no clue. Maybe. I don't know. Because I have everything unlinked and stuff. Like, they're all gone off my Discord. I don't know, maybe someone will see this in years to come in like a recommended video, and I don't know. It just sucks so much. It hurts. It really, really hurts. Such an honest person, and all that time it took. And now I'm left like this. I don't know what I'm gonna do for February. It's the thing I keep dreading about is February, you know, their game is coming out and stuff like that. You know, they're gonna be so popular. We're gonna have loads of fans and lots of everything. All the things that we were talking about, looking forward to for him and giving him all the ideas and giving him some motivation and everything, and I'm not gonna be there for it. We're not together. And I never told my family his name because I said to them, no, because what if it doesn't work out? My family used to see, one time I visited them, I was sleeping on the sofa waiting for him with my headset on, and I sent a picture of that to him, like not my actual face. I don't know what he thought of that, but I really did care. And he always said if, you know, he can't get the income he needs, he'd be signing out, like, you know, off himself type thing, you know, if things don't work out. And when he told people that he liked to be living alone, he said that people said that it was a lonely thing. Isn't that lonely? Isn't that not sad? I never said anything like that to him. I understand why people want to be alone. When they tell me, it could be independence or maybe another thing, a comfort thing. Maybe you focus more when you're living alone. And I completely understood that. That's why I always said for compromisation, which would be I'd live somewhere and we'd visit. I don't think there was ever anything really that I said that would have jeopardized what I just said there. But yeah, I don't typically talk on stream, so just thought I'd get that out there. And when this stream finally does post on my channel, I'm probably gonna avoid it as much as possible. I really don't know what to do with myself now. I actually have nothing to do. Like, everything's all romance. Songs have romance in them. Games have romance in them. This game has romance in them. But it's a game I didn't really tell anyone I liked. I didn't really tell him that I liked it either. So it's a bit nostalgic and it's a calming thing. A bit of me hopes that he sees this, you know. He's on an alt account or something. He subscribed and he got a notification. Wow. But honestly, don't know. How would I really feel about that? I don't even know if I'd be over the moon. But to know that my feelings were heard, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know what else to say. I think I just needed that to say it, because it feels like it was a big secret, and that's what I hate. I hate when it feels like some relationships are like secrets, but they're not. Like, this person was way different, but it's like they were the perfect person in a way, even though perfect doesn't exist. But the downfall was that they just couldn't love or be there. And that's it. And I don't want to meet someone like him again, because it would only bring reminders. I don't think there's anyone as intelligent as him, honestly. So yeah. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, I'm alone.